Happy New Year! Hey everybody, it's Bo here from BATCRAFT, and we are back with a brand new year and a lot of good stuff coming our way. Now, when we left things off, we're still in kind of Christmas Town mode back at Gotham. We'll be checking back on that. A lot has happened. In fact, as I recall, I was saying very specifically that there might be, this could be a big plane, or it could be flattened, or I could have built something completely new. And it turns out I did all of those things. Because it's flattened, there is something new there, and it's also still kind of a field as well. Like there's beyond there, you could see. Whee! Yep, it's still kind of a field back here. But as you can see, I have been laying down a lot of groundwork for what is going on in our city. So we've got this one, which we will hear a lot more about later on this episode. We've got this area right here, which I'll just go ahead and tell you is going to be just kind of some standard brownstone buildings right here. This is not necessarily inspired off of anything. I like the idea that the city is going to contain a lot of locations that are inspired by real world locations, but it's going to have, buildings that are just kind of interspliced that are literally just buildings. This one right here is going to be a fun one when we get to it. This is actually going to be a building that is inspired from a place in London. This one right here is going to be from a building in New York. This one right here is going to be just kind of a basic building. I'll explain a little bit more later. And this one right here is going to be from New Orleans, or at least inspired by a building from New Orleans. And actually, I spent the week after Christmas for the French Quarter in New Orleans doing a ton of photojournaling and taking a look at a lot of different buildings there. And I got a lot of inspiration. So even though my hope is to have different buildings from different places, New Orleans might have multiples. Yeah, there might be multiples in there from New Orleans, just because I love the French Quarter. I love the design that is kind of throughout. And yeah, it would not be the end of the world if my city incorporated a lot of that design as well. But beyond building, there is more things that have to happen here on BATCRAFT. And that is kind of my personal goals. And that's something that I really wanted to start off this episode with, is really kind of talking about personal goals and what we're kind of planning to do. Now, I've started moving out a lot of my inventory here, so I'm thinking we might start using our prime starter base as a little bit more of like a temporary hideout or something like that. Let me get some of this stuff cleared up, and we can kind of vision plan a little bit, get some of that stuff together. All right. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll kind of use this area right here for personal goals. Become the world's greatest superhero. End of list. No, I'm not kidding. But also not totally kidding. This is kind of really, really a big one. Okay, and so we'll kind of fill this out with more goals as we go along. I mean, there's going to be projects obviously in Gotham and that sort of thing. But for all intents and purposes, this is the core one right here, is I intend to become the world's greatest superhero. And there is something very important that I need in order for this to happen, and that is, boom, get superpowers. I need superpowers, y'all. I need superpowers if I'm going to be the world's greatest superhero. And, I know like some people are thinking like, hey, not all superheroes need superpowers. Some people can just be really great and are made of money. And I got news for you. I am not made of money. Okay? Like that is not me. I started off really well this season with diamonds and everything else. But since then, my diamond stock has been kind of all but, I don't want to say depleted, but outside of like things I need specifically for projects, I really don't have just tons of money. So money cannot be my superpower. I need superpowers. So that got me thinking. I need superpowers. Now I can fly, but we can all kind of fly. That's not that super heroic. I need something that's going to stand out. Something that I could wield and kind of, theoretically constantly have a little something that will benefit me throughout all of my battles with various evildoers and ne'er-do-wells. And I need some kind of source of constant power. If only there was something about this world, this earth, that was constant, that I could actually weaponize and use for the benefit of this earth. Almost as if I could harness nature itself to protect the world. Wait a minute. Rain! No, wait. Storms! It is constantly raining on Earth 3. Like, it has been noticeably constantly raining on Earth 3. I don't know what it is. I've commented on it before. It could be a plugin that we're using, like, an unintentional like situation based off of one of the plugins we're using. But it is just constantly raining. And so I think it's time that we go on a quest to learn how to use the power of the storms itself, the very might of Earth 3. We will find it, and we will wield it for the good of Earth 3. Time to become a superhero, baby. Let's go. All right. So, of course, we need that channeling power, and luckily, I know exactly where to get the power itself. We've actually been sitting on a channeling book for quite some time, but we're going to need a trident. And let's see. Maybe, my thought is that maybe we might, I'd love to do this like in a very, welcoming kind of way. Like that somehow the people of Earth 3, even the creatures, even the drowned of Earth 3 recognize the good that I can do for this Earth. Because obviously, it's all our Earth, right? Like this is for everyone, for the drowned and the not drowned alike. And so maybe they'll just give me one. Let's see. Oop. Hi guys. I want to be a hero and protect the planet for the good of everyone. Would y'all know anybody who's got like a trident that can help me do that? All right. Anybody over here got a trident? You have a trident. Hey guy. Yeah. Hook me up. Hook me with a trident. Yeah. Give it to me. Yes, please. I'm going to use it for good. I promise. I'm going to save the world for all of our benefits. I can see they're coming over there. Oh, don't hurt your buddy. Oh, maybe he's turning against his buddy. These guys are trying to attack me, and he's trying to save me. I will fight alongside you. He's like an undercover drowned. He was a hero. All right, he's coming to bring me the trident. Thank you. All right, we got it. Let's see. He dropped the trident. He gave me the trident, but then he also gave me this piece of paper that says the hero's quest. And let's see. It says, to our once and future hero, this trident can be used to harness the power, the very might of Earth 3. But to wield its great power, you must first take it to the tallest tower that you can find. There, in the midst of the darkest storm, strike and gain the might of Earth 3. Okay, well, the storm has stopped. So, well, I guess we will have to do that quest later. But as I mentioned, there will be other opportunities. That was so nice of that drown just to drop that thing for me. I mean, he did kind of drop it on my face, but at the same time, we got it. And that's what's important. Now, to be honest, I was about to actually come up here and add kind of our building board as well. But lately, I've been thinking about possibly, moving our little prime starter base to a new location. Like, this is great, and this has been great, and perhaps will even continue to be great. I mean, the road needs to be switched out now that we actually do have the basalt. But I'm thinking that we need to move our prime starter base into the city itself. No more of this kind of hanging out behind the place. And I'm thinking the best place for it is right about here. Because this build right here, I know, I'm going to tell you more. I promise it's coming. This episode, I hope, is when we are going to actually be building this out. But it's going to end up having kind of like a big blank open space right on this side. And so having kind of a big moving truck right here might add a little bit of distracting detail. I've thought about how to dress it up a little bit. And ultimately, maybe putting some of these kind of box posters, which will make sense more in a little bit. But yeah, I think actually having kind of our truck right here, and I guess, let's see, this is the right side of the city. We are let's see, we're pretty close to Gotham. Gotham's in America. We're going to be driving on the right side of the road. Sorry to our friends across the pond, but yeah. So I guess that means the truck will be driving this way and going not necessarily out of town, because that'll also eventually become the city too, but kind of be going in that direction. And so I think that would be good. Yeah. So yes, our prime moving truck will be moving, which in all fairness does sound very, very appropriate. All right, but I would like to explain what we'll be building across the city and where I'm kind of going for a lot of the inspiration. I mentioned that I want to incorporate buildings from various places and actually various buildings that have kind of personal significance to me. and are specifically from places where either I've lived or traveled to. Yeah, that really just that means something. Now, it's not exhaustive, or at least I don't think it's going to be exhaustive in terms of incorporating every single place I've ever visited or anything like that. But I just want to have a little bit of tribute to different cities and that sort of thing. So, okay, so first off, here are the cities. And I think this is it, but like I said, we could add to this. We could change it over time. We got Jackson, Mississippi, city that I was born. It's where me and Belle grew up and all that kind of great stuff. And yeah, we got Jackson, Mississippi. We've got Memphis, Tennessee, where I lived for several years. We've got New Orleans, which is absolutely one of my favoriteest cities on earth. Houston, where I'm located now. New York City, where I've never lived, but have visited on numerous occasions and absolutely love New York. We got the city of Ia in Greece. We've got Rome. We've got Florence, Italy. We've got Athens, and I think that's it, unless I'm forgetting something, which is very possible. Oh, of course I am. London. Okay. Yes. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's it. All right. So some of this might change, and we'll add to this and everything else over time. But to kind of show you a couple of locations that I want to incorporate, let's start with Jackson. So the building that we'll be building in Jackson is Potisteri Studios. It is my studio when I lived there. Now, the studio is no longer there, but the building that it was located in is, and it was the Tucker Printing Building. I think Tucker Printing House building, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so we will actually be building that out later on in the series. We'll come back to Memphis because that's what we're doing today. New Orleans. All right, so we'll actually be building a building where my grandparents had a condo when I was a kid. Oh, it won't let me put FQ for some reason. Anyway, French Quarter condo. It's a condo in the French Quarter, and it has a lot of special significance to me, so I'm really excited to build that out. And ideally, that will become my new base or kind of like my main hub once we actually get there. It's going to be connected to the building we're in right now, which is obviously the storage system. But regardless, that's going to be fun. And then the Hotel Le Pavillon, which will be really, really fun and probably a pretty big priority once we get done with the thing that we're standing in right here. All right, Houston, I actually don't necessarily have anything yet. There is a concept that's kind of based out of Houston. In fact, arguably like that right there, yeah, that style of building is not necessarily based off of anything specifically, but the palette is very similar to the BP headquarters and the energy corridor here in Houston. So, which is also kind of nearby where I reside. So it's kind of one of these, I kind of took it as inspiration. But I want to do something more for Houston, and I just don't know what yet. So we're going to leave that blank. For New York City, we will be making the McKittrick Hotel, which is awesome. It is the home of an immersive theater show called Sleep No More. It's very influential to me in that it really kind of opened my mind for what theater could be. And it's a really, really cool spot. The building itself, at least from the exterior, is actually not a whole lot to look at and is, very much kind of it's a hotel, but it's a hotel that's been converted so that every single floor is essentially a stage. And so we won't be doing the interior of the McKittrick, but we will be doing the exterior. And so that's coming very soon as well. Ia. What are we doing in Ia? Okay, so Ia, I don't know yet. Something. I love Ia. I mean, it's a tourist trap, and it is very much, you gotta. It's all about the coastline, and we certainly have coastlines here. So I think I've got an idea, but I won't know if it'll work until we build out the rest of the city and see how it interacts with the coastline around it. So I'm kind of leaving Ia blank for the moment. But for Rome, we'll be doing the Pantheon. Now, the Pantheon has been many things over the years. For the purposes of our city, it's actually going to end up being a bank, which is kind of interesting. But it certainly is not a bank, and we'll talk more about what the Pantheon is and kind of some of the history, which is true of a lot of these locations, especially the ones that, exist as other things. We'll be talking about the history of those buildings and that sort of thing. But anyway, yes, the Pantheon in Rome. For Florence is kind of like Ia. I've got an idea in theory, but it really depends on the layout of the city. So we'll be returning back to Florence. In Athens. Okay, this is kind of an interesting one. For Athens, we're going to be building an actual building in Athens, and I will put the actual address of it when we get done building it so you can check it out if you're ever in Athens, Greece. But essentially, it is a place where my wife and I stayed, and we didn't stay in the building. We stayed on top of the building because on the top of the building is a little tiny house. And it's this massive, massive like corporate office where there's like a little tiny house on top of it. And so we are going to be doing that. We're going to be building out, and it's a real office building with tiny house on top of it. And the cool thing was with our tiny house, well, that just disappeared, is that the tiny house, it was awesome because we had like this beautiful view of the Acropolis. And so I've got some pictures from that. I'll be sharing that when we get there as well. And then finally, London, the City of York pub. Oh, this place is so cool. And it's a beautiful building. I cannot wait to build this out. When I went to London, I had a speaking engagement there, and I stayed for a couple extra days. And this was by far one of my favorite places that I visited. I mean, yes, obviously, York, so it's in the name. It's got to be, right? But at the same time, it was just a cool pub and a really cool building, and one that I can't wait to show you. Ah, yes. But of course, there is the building that we are standing in, because right now we are standing in the future site of the Orpheum Theatre. Yeah. Okay. I'm nervous about this. This right here is going to be the Orpheum Theatre. Now you'll notice, as with these buildings right here, I've kind of started laying them out just to make sure I could get a sense of space, especially because I needed to go ahead and start really setting up the storage for the supplies for all that we need for all of these massive projects. And, it's one of those situations where I don't think I really fully appreciated the scale of this thing until we really kind of laid it out. Yeah, look at that. Like, for example, right here, you can see these are going to be 2 brownstones that are going to be next to it. And this thing is it's so much bigger by comparison. Yeah, so this thing is going to be massive. And today, I think our goal is to build out at the very least the front face of it, which is definitely the most intricate. Because, that side's going to be connected to a building, so it really doesn't matter. That side over there, as we just mentioned, is kind of bland, and we're going to try to cover it with a truck anyway. And then the back of it, I don't know. We might do some fun stuff with and put a parking lot out. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Point is, this is what we're going to do today. And I'm nervous. And we're going to attempt a time lapse, which honestly, I've been having some difficulty with trying to get a time lapse situation going this season. And so this will be our first big attempt at getting a time lapse going. Bedrock doesn't particularly make it easy. There's a lot of different kind of tricks that you have to do to try to, make it work, but that's what we will be working on today. But first, let's head to Gotham. And I suppose while we're going to Gotham, I need to be very aware of what the tallest peak that I find is, because apparently that is where I need to go to harness the might of Earth 3. A lot of big peaks, actually, that we fly over on our way to Gotham. Let's see, all the way to the top, and this is 195? Okay. I mean, that's not tall. This seems higher. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nailed it. That one over there looks taller, though. Boom. 215. That's pretty good. This might be it. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Speaking of size, look at this thing. Whoa, Gotham. Oh my gosh. Yo. All right. So much has changed. So our corporate district over here is clearly popping up. Wow. I guess this is going to be much more to look at, obviously, in the coming days for sure. But oh my goodness. I think that's going to end up taking us to Wayne Manor. Wow. All right. So these are corporate offices. I know that Q Consolidated is one of these. I think that Will's company is one. Bell's company is one. I think this is Valenco, which, oh my goodness. What is Valenco up to? I don't know. How do you make this many diamonds? Actually, you know what? Valenco sells basalt. These are my diamonds. I think I funded this. Oh man. Wow. Okay. I don't. Wait, I'm sorry. What? Do you guys carry those? How did you get that? Yeah, I don't have a spot picked out for my corporate offices. In fact, I don't really own a corporation this year, I mean, we got kind of our little farmer's market going at the lot, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If I can figure out some means of making enough money to justify like a corporate office, maybe I'll set something up. But oh my, I mean, like I don't even know what to do. That's crazy. Okay, so couple of things to note here, right? So this is the shopping area. Now the shopping area continues to go back. There's actually more space for the shops, but everybody's really been congregating here because obviously when you get out of the portal, it's the first thing you see. That space over there, you really have to kind of like, you know, it's not as pleasing to be over here. Although I do think that there's probably some ways maybe we could kind of carve this back a little bit to, I don't know. It's up to Fox. It's up to Fox in terms of how he wants things laid out. He is still our city manager. But yeah, a couple of new businesses to talk about. First of all, Bell has established From the Depths, which includes a couple of items from under the sea. We have got, I don't know the name of this, but I believe that this is Valenco, and it is a wings rental service. So you can come in here, you can rent wings and everything else. And yeah, I don't know how successful this has been or whatnot. It is a relatively simple process. I have not needed because I've got plenty of wings myself, but yes, I know that this has been really good. I think there's also an XP farm upstairs. Then of course the black box, which, yeah, well, we're going to need to start rethinking our wool truck, or rather our wool truck, because obviously Valenco is, yeah, they've cornered the market on wool here. So that's no longer going to be any kind of profit center for us, but it also looks like he's into the concrete powder. And man, oh man, okay. Lots of concrete powder. I'm trying to think. Okay, this has been the big thing, Wilmart. So we need to talk about Wilmart for a second because this has been a little bit of a situation here. Wilmart is very close to the lot, which, you know, has been fine. It's kind of been a nice aesthetic thing. But very recently, Wilmart has started actively selling and undercutting prices on things that I have, specifically books. So right before the holidays, I did this. Put Silk Touch on sale for $1, and I put the sign on my property, but blocking the door to get into Wilmart. So, you know, I don't feel like that's dirty practice. I feel like what he's doing to me has been dirty practice, but you know what? It's fine. Regardless, the sale is over, so this kind of needs to come down. But I think at this point, like, I don't know that my books are as big sellers as they used to be. Because people, all right, so let's see. Unbreaking still kind of pulling some sales. That's good to know. Mending, always important to have mending readily available. Yeah, nobody even went for my Silk Touch sale. That's crazy. Oh, well. Word on the street is that I may have sold some wings. Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Well, we still have our wings, although admittedly with Valenco's rental service, I don't know if people are going to want to, you know, purchase or not. So we'll just have to find out. Given the fact that not as many people are buying books, I'm wondering if I need to just go ahead and enchant all these and then up the price a little bit. I might consider doing that. It's storming. The old man is snoring. Okay. My quest items. All right. Yes, I was going to say that wool is, you know, we got to rethink a new business model on wool. I've got a concept, but we'll get there. And then, of course, we need to clean up for Christmas because Christmas is over and it's time to put away the stuff. Okay. So 215. That right there is pretty tall. Let's just see. There. That's it. That's it right there. That is the tallest peak. At least the tallest peak in Gotham. What we got? The Might of Earth 3 awaits hero. All right. Here goes nothing. Feel a little anticlimactic to you? Uh-huh. Okay. Let's just get this back. And haha! The Might of Earth 3. Okay, I don't think that worked. I mean, this is clearly the spot. Huh. Okay, well, I guess the storm is not raging enough. It is quite peaceful actually up here right now, so that must be, yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, yep, not quite ready for this. That is okay. We will be back. All right, well, disappointing though that may have been, it is time to get back to work. And, whew, let's do this. And that is the work of building out the Orpheum Theatre. And just when I'm about to get started, boom. Storm. I told you it always storms here. Okay, all right. So superpowers are the priority. Superpowers are the priority. We gotta do that first. We just gotta find that tall peak again. It's in Gotham. That I know for sure. It is in. Well, it's like right over Gotham. Man, oh, this would have been a cool. Look at this. Oh, this is awesome. All right, this is kind of a slight little detour, but look at this. This is like a little kind of snowy canyon or cavern. Oh, that's awesome. If I was going in a different route with my build, I might have actually made a little base here. That's cool. There we go. Here we go. Now we're in Gotham. And where is that mountain peak? There we are. There it is. This is a treacherous little peak right here. There we go. Made it up. Okay, here we are. The might of Earth 3 awaits, hero. Here we go. Superpowers! Huh. You know what? I'm starting to think that maybe this is not where I'm supposed to do this. Maybe I just need to gather the rod from here. Because I don't think that we're going to get lightning and snow. I never said I was the smartest superhero. Just that I was wanting to be the greatest. Okay. Let's see if we can find a good place to do this. All right, let's try this one more time. Whoa! And there it is. The might of Earth 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have superpowers. Okay, now that we got what we came for, let's get to work for real. And so on your screen right now is the actual Orpheum Theatre in Memphis, Tennessee, a historic building. The Orpheum has been around since the early 1900s, arguably since the late 1800s with the Grand Opera House. But of course, that was a different location. What we have just built is actually the location that was revitalized in 1977 and is one of the main fixtures in downtown Memphis. Now, downtown Memphis has a lot of great buildings. And of course, you got the Peabody, you've got the National Civil Rights Museum. But for me personally, the Orpheum just holds a very special place. And it was the first real kind of professional theater, stage theater that I ever went to as a kid. And I have been back several times as an adult for their summer movie series and, of course, several stage plays. And yes, I am thrilled to say that here in our town, ladies and gentlemen, the Orpheum Theatre is now complete. Well, not quite complete, but you know what? It looks really good. It looks really good. I am very proud of this build. Now, it's interesting because looking at those photos I just put up, it does kind of make me compare it. And I'm like, it's not exact. And it's not. For one thing, if it was exact, it would be more of that would be the corner side as opposed to this corner side. And actually, it's kind of made me think, well, maybe, maybe we actually treat this corner like it's the other corner. I don't know. We might do something with that. But regardless, the front of the building is really what we've been working on, and I think it really turned out well. As you can see, I really wanted to kind of communicate the overall design of the Orpheum, and I think, if I do say so myself, I think I nailed it. I think it's solid. This looks really good. This is probably one of the most detailed builds I have ever done, and the funny thing is, it's not even the most detailed build that's going to be in the city. But it's really, really good. There's a lot of little features to it. Getting the sign in particular was really tricky, but I think it just turned out well. It just turned out so well. I'm really proud of it. Okay. All right. I just keep on gushing, but it's really good. And I've wanted to build this thing for so long. I've had this kind of on my list. And as you can see, the inside is literally just the same. It's just, we're going to do a big storage system, ideally an automatic storage system going all the way around. And actually I put kind of some winding staircases here. Now, if we were doing this legitimately, this would actually be in the back, but I really kind of want, from a practical standpoint, I wanted to be able to walk in and see all my items. But ideally, the goal here is that you're going to go up and then we'll have a second level that we can double chest all the way around as well. So theoretically, I can't say that we're going to be able to hold every single item, but we're going to be able to hold any item that we need and sort it out pretty well. That's been a big plan, a big goal of mine for this season is to have an automatic sorting system. And obviously can't do this until we have an iron farm up and running. But regardless, we've got the space and, well, it doesn't look great from here, but it looks great from out there. I created a little office area too up here. It's kind of coming along. It's not going to be much. It's probably not going to be much because really what it comes down to, it's all about the exteriors, baby. Look at that. Oh, so good. All right. Well, let me know what you think. If you think this is pretty great, leave a like and all that kind of good stuff. And I just can't stop looking at it. It's just so good. It's so good. And around the side over here, ooh, what do we do? I guess we could do windows, but I don't know. We'll probably do windows up here. Well, that's probably what we'll do. We'll continue kind of those little side windows, or rather the top windows right over here. We might wrap those around. That'd probably be a good idea. But I was kind of messing around with kind of putting little theater poster boxes over here. And then we've got 2 doors to enter in. And then we've got a backstage door right here. And yeah, I found that those 2 locations just worked practically for me for doors. Just those are easy when I'm in the grocery store. This is, for whatever reason, the one that I like to exit. And yeah, there you go. So this will probably get done off camera between now and the next video, if I had to guess. And hopefully we will get to a place where we can start to kind of close that up, roof it off, and then it'll really be done. This over here, by the way, I need to make a call about because I don't have a roof on it right now. And part of the reason is because I don't want to mess up our carrot farmer or our melon farm. But I guess our melon farm is as covered as it's going to be. I don't know. What I may do is I might slab everything around this glass and then just leave the glass. That's probably what I'll end up doing. And then I could probably slab over this. At least I think I can. I don't know. My farms have been doing really well, and I don't want to break them. But that is, I think, going to do it for us for today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this build and learned a little. I guess I didn't really give you that much information, but if you've never heard of the Orpheum Theatre, I really suggest you look it up. It's a really, really cool old building. They've got some great Broadway shows that'll come through. And then, of course, they've got some great movie series. And honestly, it's just, I love the Orpheum. And now it's right here in my very own city. So thank y'all so much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.